Okay, future. A lot about downtown. We've written a lot about downtown. It is, you know, the core of the city, but there are a lot of other economic areas of the city as well as downtown. And I'm interested in what you see coming up as economic development for the city. And by that I really mean generation of jobs, of tax revenue, of bringing diverse business into the area.
I'd be happy to address that question, because I'll leave the downtown aside just for now, and talk a little bit about diversity generally in our city and what that's meant for our city. And I try to say this as often as I can and as publicly as I can. I think the best thing that's happened to the city is the diversity that we've experienced over the last 10 years. My daughter comes home from school with kids from all around the world. What an education that is for her. She's friends with people, you know, kids that came from the Ivory Coast, from China, from the Philippines, I mean, my goodness, it's great. You know, I hear people talking code about, wow, you know, the city's change as if it's a negative, or they, the term they, you know, the word they, and I think, you know, how fortunate we are to be living in a city that is rich in diversity for so many reasons, not just personally in what we can learn from one another, but economically, with our values of our properties remaining, you know, stable, with our small businesses that are sprouting up, that are helping our residential taxes. I mean, with our schools, you know, in terms of first-generation immigrants who are hardworking and value education and family and hard work. It's without question the best thing that's happened, and that is where we should really focus in terms of building our neighborhood business centers, and that's what's been happening. Dean Rizzo has done a very good job developing that aspect of Quincy 2000 and reaching out to the Asian community. Corey is an agency that is also, I think, very helpful with the city. Our neighborhood centers are reaching out to different cultures as well. So I think we're seeing that. The smaller neighborhood business districts have come back. I mean, the Downs, you know, it's bustling there. Wollaston Center, it's bustling. You know, I think we need a little help with, you know, the West Quincy, Bruce Corner. To the extent we can make improvements there, it's limited, you know, but we're trying to put some infrastructure in place, replacing the lights, doing all the sidewalks, and, you know, despite, and I don't mean to regress, but it's important to understand, despite having to pay over $800,000, which is essentially all of our money in CDBG funds that normally go to streetscapes, storefronts, on, you know, actual construction of business districts, is being paid to the bank that loaned the prior owner of the shipyard $10 million, $8 million. We pledged our community development.
800,000 is the total community development block grant.
Not the total community development. Community CDBG money that is that is used for purposes of putting money on the streets in commercial districts. You know, so that's its own. The entire thing goes out every year. The good news is I never. The first payment I think was my first year, so I never had that money to spend. So I don't know what we're missing, but I think about that. You know, $800,000, and what we've been able to manage despite not having that is pretty good.
When is that due to get paid off?
We're trying to work, and we've sought the help from Congressman Delahunt and Senator Kennedy's office in trying to explore the possibility of even refinancing that debt, because that's essentially what it is. It was a loan to, shipbuilding LLC or whatever it was that we guaranteed that we had to take over. So we're exploring, ways. It's been very difficult. Another aspect of running the city, the federal monies have not been, earmarks and the like forthcoming in Massachusetts quite the way they were under the Clinton administration, should we say? And so it's been tough, but we've got the $6 million earmark for the concourse, which was a big help in that area, and we hope to get Broadmeadows Marsh and the Army Corps appropriation this year, which is also helpful. But we've sought the help of getting out from underneath that loan somehow, whether by an annual earmark or by refinancing, and we're working on it right now. Dennis Harrington is Nancy Callahan from the planning department, who I haven't mentioned either, who are doing phenomenal work in the planning department. So those
small business, immigrant-driven neighborhood.
Right.
Job creation, economic development, anything bigger?
Sure. I think
downtown.
Well, sure. I mean, the Crown Colony on-ramp is a big deal. Boston Financial Data Services, we've had a number of meetings with, they've sought input from our office and the possibility of a tax agreement of some kind to give them an incentive to combine their offices here. That's something that would pay dividends, I think, in the future. Whether we have an actual tax agreement is necessary or not, I haven't decided. I haven't ruled it out, but certainly that's something that we'll discuss. That's great potential. We have Network Plus. I don't know if it's Network Plus. I always forget the name, but they're growing by leaps and bounds. We worked well with the state delegation, and there's a,
That's granted, isn't it? Yeah.
Excuse me?
Network Plus is Granite Communications.
Granite Communications, excuse me, Rob Hill. Great a number of jobs we've seen expanded in the city of Quincy. They're up to like 500 or 600 jobs. It's a Quincy company that had to move and now has parking issues that we're working with the state delegation to address and build a parking garage to make sure that they can continue to expand and prosper. Jay Cashman's headquarters is now stationed down the shipyard. He claims to have over 100 employees. I don't know exactly how many he has down there, but that's starting the ball over there. And we see, I just went to a nice ribbon cutting for a global telecommunication company that just opened an office in the same building as Quincy College is. And they have about 300 or 400 employees. That I was surprised they had a big. I was surprised that the Ledger didn't send. I know. What they do is they. If you're going to speak to somebody in Hong Kong, you can see the individual, and they have these.
So they do teleconferencing.
Teleconferencing. That's the word.
Where were they? Do you remember
They're
their
in
name?
the same building as.
One in North Quincy with the
Yes,
college just
yes.
relocated to.
Yes,
Used to be a State Street
Yeah.
building, wasn't it?
That's right, yeah. And Quincy College is in that
They
building.
have 300?
Yeah,
I haven't heard a word about it.
No, nor has John
No, I
in
think
business.
Yes.
They really
Yeah, we were
floated
invited.
under the
In fact,
radar.
O'Neill and Associates were the ones who set up the ribbon cutting thing, and
They
I
obviously-
asked them, I said, what's going on? This would be a pretty big deal here. So, but it's not too late. I mean, it was just
No,
a few
but
weeks
they-
ago.
But they obviously didn't think about.
Yeah. No, I don't know why that would have been. I mean, they had a
Jennifer O'Neill,
professional
Clarkson.
outfit.